Hi everybody, welcome back to Level Upload and Fight Feelings Face Facts with yours truly, Shay. Guys, I have been having epiphanies after epiphanies after epiphanies this week. I'm definitely thankful for all the moments of clarity that God has been granting me with. I'm humbled by them for sure, definitely humbled. This is sparkling water, by the way. I'm trying to have me a dry January, guys. No resolution, just a personal preference. But I'm humbled by it, but it's baffling in a sense because I did not realize how much trauma I had purposely and continually invited into my life. Like, I was welcoming people who were causing me trauma into my life. Like, how does that make sense? In what world is that okay? So let me give you the backstory. I think I kind of have been a little bit open about, my past relationships, at least somewhat open about some of the things I experienced, and just like looking back on them and the different things that I consider to be perfectly normal as a healing woman and as a woman who is really learning her worth and really standing firm in her value and knowing who she is and whose she is. I look back on some of the ways that I allowed people to treat me, and I am flabbergasted. I am literally like disgusted with myself. I give myself grace, but I also understand that, like, sis, you definitely was out here bad, because the way that you let people treat you and talk to you, it was indicative of no self-love, no self-care. And, like the way that people argue with you, it speaks a lot about how they feel about you. The way people speak to you when they are intoxicated in any form speaks a lot about how they really feel about you. Like, I'm a person that you can get me as lit as you want to get me, but if I care about you, even in an argument, there's limits. My argument is I usually am a person who argues the problem and not the person. Like, I don't see the person as my enemy. I see whatever that person is doing, that action, or the way that they're, treating me as the enemy. I have come to realize that everyone does not see things that way at all, like 0%. And very troubling for me, but I'm starting to finally realize that everyone definitely does not see things in that way. And in that realization, it's just very interesting, to say the least. Very interesting to see how much I allowed and thought was normal, and how many times I allowed people to disrespect me, to talk bad about me, and then, blame it on the alcohol or blame it on being upset. And it's like, well, wow, you could low blow me like that just because of a substance. You could mistreat me like that over an argument or disagreement, something that we could talk through, or even step away and cool off. But instead you chose to disrespect me. That, to me, is how you really feel about me. And for so long, I have sat and allowed people to use anger, being drunk, being, hurt, feeling insecure. I've allowed them to use those excuses as reliable excuses for why they treated me poorly, why they spoke to me poorly. And so I kind of put this into the realm of, like, I was thinking about the whole Megan and Tory thing, like, and the phone call where he was calling and saying,
I'm so sorry, I was just so drunk. I was just so drunk. I don't know, I would never do nothing like that. I was just so drunk.
And hey, I have heard of people getting extremely intoxicated under different substances and, doing things that they can't recall. But, like, you literally cause bodily harm to multiple women. You literally put someone's life in danger. There's not enough sorry I was drunk in the world for that. And it's like, I've been having this epiphany that stop excusing that. Stop giving people passes for their intoxication, their choices. Stop letting people speak to you any type of way. Stop letting people degrade you and then ask for forgiveness.
Not on my watch.
There are some things that people have said to me before that I could never say to someone because I don't feel that way about them. So the fact that they were able to muster that up, that's how they really feel about me. Or they're trying to humble me. I get that a lot. I get a lot of people who are trying to humble me. They see whatever light that I'm shining in, or they see that I am working on my insecurities and that I am confident in who God has made me to be, as I am slowly evolving into who I'm supposed to be, and the best version of myself. I still love this version of myself. Oh baby, that upsets them. That makes everybody upset. Everybody is mad that I love myself as is. I guess because, I'm not out here trying to reach a standard of perfection to the society standpoint. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. I'm trying to be loving to the Shay that is Shay. I am trying to stay true to myself. And when people see that, they seem to be threatened by it. They see something that needs to be broken down. I need to be brought back into reality. I need to remember how flawed I am. I need to remember that I'm single. I need to remember that nobody wants me. I need to remember that there's better options than me. So people speaking to me poorly has been something that I have become used to. And I didn't even realize how bad it was. And so I was looking at some I don't have a TikTok, y'all, and I won't get it, so I'm not going to go on the whole TikTok rant. I could, but I'm not. I was seeing people on TikTok, and the reels where they show the TikToks on Facebook or Instagram. People joking about how their grandparents talk to them and how their mom talked to them. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm really sitting here, I can relate because I know of people like that. I'm Black, I know the Black experience, whether it was in my household or not. I have the Black experience. But my mom and my dad did not speak to me in those ways. My grandparents didn't speak to me in those ways. And I don't know if it's just because of who I am. I do carry myself in a certain type of way. I do have a certain type of energy, I've heard. But they never talked to us like that. It was not normalized for you to just bully your kids or to bully your grandkids and call it love. At the very most, I was like, oh, you gotta get that weight up off you, something like that. But I seen videos where they were saying you go to your grandma's house and you gain some weight. Oh girl, you get big and fat. Oh my God, ain't nobody gonna want you. You look, girl, you starting to look disgusting. And I'm like, what? Or even when they joke about the moms, y'all get y'all stupid beep 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 up in here clean all this. We didn't have that. I'm sorry. Nobody in my family talked to us like that. I'm so thankful. I did not realize that as a kid, it was funny to hear other people talking about it, even as a young adult. But like I said, as I heal and I learn how strong and powerful words really are, I feel sorry for you guys that grew up that way. And I know that it might not seem like a big deal to you, but subconsciously that does something to your psyche. And it, as a person who didn't grow up being spoken to that way, I was able to still be a victim of being mistreated and talked to poorly. So I can only imagine how much of it you've normalized if you are one of those people. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard to think about kids that don't see anything wrong and they're clicking the laugh button on their mom calling them a stupid bee. What world is that? What? I remember my feelings got hurt before, not for real, but I want to say a heifer or something like that. Just heifer. And I was hurt, because that's not how I'm used to being talked to. You know what I'm saying? So for me to fast forward years and years later and to allow someone or certain people to disrespect me and speak to me in a way that's not even commonplace for me, and to somehow give them that benefit of the doubt, that's not happening no more. That's done. The benefit of the doubt is how we wind up getting hurt. People show us who they are, and then we write it off. They show us their red flags and then we paint them green. You know, a lot of times people will tell you how they feel about you jokingly. I was listening to SZA's SOS album, and she had some line on there. I can't remember what song, because, you know, it's 1,000 songs, y'all. I don't know why we had to have that many songs. I like the album, but God, dog. She had a line on there basically like, can you talk to me? I can't remember the name of the song, y'all. Let me look it up, because I don't like just talking out the side of my neck. Let's see. It was Ghost in the Machine. That's what it was. Ghost in the Machine is the name of the song. And she said, can you distract me from all the disaster? Can you touch on me, not call me after? Can you hate on me and mask it with laughter? Can you lead me to the ark? What's the password? So basically, I was talking more so about the can you hate on me and mask it with laughter? Like, that's a real thing. Like, I've had people in my circle who, like, and don't get me wrong, like, I'm not sensitive to that point. Like, I understand jokes. I understand how to have fun. I understand how to have a friendly, you know, teasing. I'm okay with that. But, like, friendly teasing is one thing, but sometimes people can really show you and tell you exactly how they feel about you and call it a joke and call it teasing. And I've actually apologized to one of my friends within this last year or so, like, just thinking about how I used to play with her. And I promise you there was no malice in my heart at all about it. But looking back on it and getting secondhand embarrassment for it, because it was very distasteful. And also because, you know, so social media makes you aware of a lot of things that you didn't think about. And so someone who was in the same situation as her, I'll just tell you what it is. Okay, so it's one of my friends, and she's a smaller girl. She always has been, like, since I've met her. And we used to always, like, tease her about it, but not, like, tease her in the sense of, like, oh, you're so skinny and nothing like that. But, you know, it's like, oh, you're so small, you know. We never were, at least I can say I never was like we're gonna get you something to eat, because, you know. But looking back on it, like, she took it like a champ. Like, she, you know, in our ignorance and our, you know, just thinking, well, you're not fat, so, you know, that's the only thing that gets teased. Mind you, I was the chunky, fat, chubby kid, which really, I was just very, very endowed. I was just a lot more developed than a lot of the girls my age. But, you know, in my mind, you know, I'm not saying anything bad. You're skinny, you're small. That's a compliment. And, you know, with age, of course, I understood that she had her own body issues based off people just being very blatant and thinking that they could just say anything to her because she wasn't fat, because she was small. They could just come up and be rude and say distasteful body shaming things, including myself. And I had to go ahead and apologize. I'm like, you know, I did not think of it then in that way. And I promise you, I was not trying to be facetious or hating or anything. Like, I was just ignorant, and it was just commonplace. Like, that's what we did. And that's what my family did on their side. Like, when we did have smaller people in our family, which was rare, That's just how we played and how we talked, you know. Not saying it's right, but it is what it is. It's true. And so when I went out into the world, I took those lessons and unfortunately was teasing someone who I actually cared about. And, you know, the flip side, now, if the skinny girl was to come and say, y'all, you big, you need to put that plate down, everybody would have a whole conniption. They'll pass out or be ready to fight. So I had to check myself, and I actually really, really do understand. And we just got to talk to each other better. We got to be more cognizant. I know that social media and the wokeness of us all now is making it a very sensitive world. But honestly, it should be sensitive. Like, we should be sensitive to each other. We should be trying not to hurt each other. We should be trying not to offend each other. We don't have to walk around on eggshells per se, but we shouldn't be just walking out here just lackadaisically, hypocritically just saying anything to people, especially when we know that if it were said in reverse to us, that we would be hurt from it. Just saying. So I'm just learning not to give people the benefit of the doubt as I begin to elevate. Don't play with me. That's it. That's the post. As I began to elevate, don't play with me. Because one thing my mom always talks about, she always says, don't play with me because I don't know how to play. And she's not lying. Like, she has a good sense of humor, but she actually has a really good sense of humor. But if you take it that either she gonna be quiet, cause when she be quiet, you know she has something that she can say that's gonna hurt your feelings real bad. And so now you know she's choosing peace, but she don't she keep it up and it's gonna come. So usually her silence is your cue to just shut it up, you know. Yeah, we don't really play like that. So it's like, as I'm elevating, don't play with me. Let me be. Check me when I need to be checked. Affirm me when I need to be affirmed. Congratulate me when I need to be congratulated. Reprimand me if I need to be reprimanded. But don't play with me. Like, at this big old age, I'm not taking none of that. Oh, I didn't know you was gonna take it like that. Well, now you know. And now don't play with me. Period. Point blank, period. Y'all, we gotta stop letting people talk to us any kind of way. It's not normal for a friend to be... Oh, this is another thing. I promise you this is gonna be the last thing I say. It's not normal for friends to be, especially over the age of 20... I would say 22. All this calling each other B's and H's and being extremely mean to our friends, that's not cute. That's just how we talk. No, that's not cute. Don't talk to me like that. People learn real quick. Do not talk to me like that. Like, you might just slide with a B. Like, also, girl, let me tell you what I have to say. You know, like, I'm okay with that. But we're not going to continue. We're not going to make that a habit. And we're definitely not going to continue to, girl, them ugly shoes. You know, I've seen people that's friends that talk to each other like dogs on the street. Dogs on the street. And I'm just like, I don't know, baby. You can't talk to me like that because, like my mama said, I don't really play like that. So if you take a low blows, I'm gonna take either the high road or the really, really, really low road. I'm very extreme when it comes to that. So I'm gonna take the high road and just start talking to you and leave you alone completely, or I'm gonna go too far. Like Jay-Z said, don't make me do it to you because I overdo it. Like, baby, I will overdo it for sure. That's why I try to just pick my battles, because I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to be that person, but I will if I need to check something. But yeah, stop letting these people talk to you in kind of way. Your man should not be calling you B's and H's. He should not be really yelling at you, even in an argument sense. Like, okay, things escalate, you get frustrated, you might raise your voice, but within reason. I'm not really a fan of raising voices because at my big old age, we should be able to communicate amicably. We should be able to take a break if we need to. We should have some better communication and resolution skills than that, but I do understand that everyone is not like this. We can't be letting these people get away with that. Like, yes, you can argue. Yes, you can yell a little bit, but like, don't make it commonplace. Honestly, if I were you, I wouldn't even do it. I wouldn't even let anybody yell at me like that. I'm not a child. And then what happens when you reach the top of your yelling? So how does that escalate? What does that look like for us in this season? You know what I mean? In this new year, I am leaving behind the benefit of the doubt. I am leaving behind excuses. I'm leaving behind being talked to poorly by anybody. And I do mean anybody. Talk to me nice. Stop letting people get away with talking to you like you're dookie on the bottom of their shoe and then laughing it off or excusing it off or blaming it off. They know what they said. They said what they said and they meant it. Believe them. When somebody tells you who they are and how they feel about you, believe them. If somebody says they don't want you, believe them. If somebody says you're a stupid B, believe them. They feel that way about you. It's not just liquor talking. The liquor doesn't make thoughts come in your mind. It just helps you not be able to conceal them. I don't know, y'all, but as y'all take this journey with me, I hope that you get something from my experiences and my epiphanies. You all have an amazing evening. I will see you guys later. Bye.